Are we live? People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's in good spirits. I hope everyone's had a progressive start to this week, had a fantastic Monday, Tuesday, and I hope every day this week and so on and so forth is filled with progression in your personal and private lives. You know, I hope it's filled with an abundance. You can't do anything without health, so I'm wishing you and your loved ones, you know, continued health, man. You know, if you ain't got health, you're dead. So yeah, and better yet, save the best till last. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. Welcome, people. Obviously, Arsenal, the top four race is still alive and kicking and alive and breathing again. We have to focus on Sunday because we play Leeds next week. Thursday, it's the big one in the North London derby. We know after that we go to St James's Park and Everton. So there's many twists and turns, bumps and bruises. But, you know, we dealt with Chelsea. We dealt with Man Divided. We dealt with, you know, West Ham, who apparently won the Europa League based on beating Lyon and that, really and truly, despite the fact that they're losing currently on aggregate to Frankfurt. But that doesn't matter. Declan Rice can show some fight, you know, rather than showing the fight on the pitch. And he did have a great game against us. He wants to fight Nketiah, who is his guy, and much less, what makes matters worse, the captain is trying to fight an Arsenal striker where your team's chasing the game a goal down in added on time. If that's not what head loss is, I don't know what is. But maybe he's twerking for Chelsea, the club that rejected both of them. But away from that, please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Throughout this live stream, we've been linked once again with Lautaro Martinez. There's been awesome and rumours. We've been linked with Aaron Hickey, who, for me, I've done videos about it. I've done cut-up clips about it. I've spoken about him. I want him at this football club. I want a left back, you know. We'll get into it, but he's 19 years of age. It makes sense, and it just makes a bag of sense. One love to the Twitch gang as well. As I said, if you're on YouTube, please hit the like button. It's a jam-packed day of content. After this, it's Champions League business, people. So yeah, man, live from 7:30, Liverpool versus Villarreal. Can't guarantee it's going to be entertaining, but I'm doing a watch along for it nonetheless. Obviously, on that tomorrow, live at the same time, 7:30. It's Real Madrid City, where we hope that's the entertaining one. So make sure you've set your reminders, you've hit the like button on both of those things there, people. It's very appreciative. I appreciate it, and I'm very appreciative. Every like, you know, the algorithm puts it in front of other people like yourself. You might like my content, people, or, you know, I know there's some haters out there and whatnot, but it is what it is, man. Before we get into this, I'm displaying terrible manners. What are you lot saying, man? Bro, they're man divided, man. Man red, man UFC as they call it, man UFC as they call it on FM. Allow it, man. Appreciate you, South London's finest. Come on, appreciate you lot, man. Come on. The regulars are about, man. You lot make it for it. It's Charlie, Cheza. Come on, man. As I said, smash the like button, and I see Deluded was making sure you got the links and everything you need in there. Oh, the mouse has stopped working. Oh, here we go again. Right, Richard, I thought you forgot about man. Hope you're good, bro. It's been a while. I've had no phone the past few months. So I've just been in the background lurking when I could, but I left my membership running anyways. Appreciate that. You know, appreciate you for supporting regardless. Appreciate you for being a member. Shout all the other members and moderators, by the way. And yeah, man, Richard, nice to have you back, man. Always concerned when I see regulars go missing. I hope they're all right. Or hope they still like me. What did I do to them, really? But I hope you're well. Big up, DG. You're on me, man. Big up you, DG. Big up, DG. Sorry. Remember when I said we would finish third? I don't know, Muay Thai. I hope we can kick Chelsea out of third place. Do you know? I hope we can Muay Thai kick them. We're 3 points behind them. I definitely like to look up versus down, you know, but let's just focus on what we're doing. Same way we knew what we had to do going into the game against West Ham. Same way a week before we played at 12:30. We had to set the tempo. Let's just do what we're doing, you know, deal with the variables that we can control. And by all means, let's entertain conversations about third and things. But always, whenever Arsenal fans, we get a bit giggity about third, Colassins always start. You know, we've got 4 games. Let's just focus on what's in front of us, man. Just keep getting the job done, really. You know, St. James's Park against Newcastle is going to be difficult. Leeds under their new gaffer, Jesse March, is going to be difficult. Spurs are not going to give it to us easy. Everton, obviously, is a different one. And, you know, if you're Chelsea, you're hoping on the last day of the season, Lampard can do something and cock block our Champions League hopes. We will be in Europe in some capacity, which many ways is progress, really and truly. But yeah, man, since Champions League has become a possibility, it would be failure not to get it. Once again, since top 4 has, whatever month top 4 and Arsenal became a legitimate talking point, it would be failure. In the grand scheme of things, top 6 is probably where we're expected to head about, and that's where the project's going. Nonetheless, players need to arrive. If you get Champions League, you could probably get a higher caliber amount of player in that. Unpopular opinion, whether we get Champions League, no Europe, which is not a thing, or Europa League, without stating the obvious, the bulk of the business, the targets we're looking for shouldn't really be too affected with such, man. Exactly. We need to turn up against Leeds before anything else. Let's just deal with what we're doing, man. Big up DG. Hey, brother, in school right now, in break, watching you. Hey, stay in school, stay in class, make sure you're listening. But if you're not going to listen in school, yeah, man, you have to get education some way, man. I appreciate that. Bless up you as well, my dude. Yo, brother, don't know about you, but I'm starting to rate the management. I'm convinced half of our squad are duds and he's getting change out of them. On one hand, I'm not going to rate the manager for doing what managers are supposed to do. If you've got all this potential, do the potential things. I'm not going to praise Klopp for doing crazy tactics or Pep for doing crazy tactics. God, you men are meant to be lit managers. And I listen, I like what Arteta is doing. I've always said I rate Arteta. It's no surprise that I like Arteta and I rate him and I want him to do well. Where I'm a bit different is I'm not an apologist and I'm not a hater and I'm not an apologist. Just because I support someone or back someone, by all means, when you're doing well, you get your praise. But when you're doing dodgy things like Xhaka left back at Crystal Palace, Brighton, and dodgy midfielders, you deserve to be criticised. You deserve the praise and critique fairly, really and truly. It's like if you're a shareholder of a business and whatnot, if the business that you're a shareholder of, if the executive comes and has a progress report and he's telling you good things, you're going to be happy. If you haven't met your projected sales or profit margins and things, you're going to ask what's going on. So yeah, I want Arteta to succeed because we've got a young manager. He ties in with what our squad's doing. It means we can get some stability. And on one hand, as I said, I don't want to praise a manager for doing the basics, but I like the fight. I'm not happy with the lack of depth, but I do think one byproduct has been there's more togetherness. I do think the players are singing from the same hymn sheet. I do think the whole club, all fragments of the club, whether we're win, losing, bro. What was the game we lost and man are still chanting Arteta's name? This is what I wanted, something to just believe in. I don't want to just participate in trophies for the sake of it. I don't want to praise because I do think the standards are unbalanced. I don't want to praise for necessarily just finishing in a league position or whatnot, because that's what we're here to do. I don't want to praise him for improving players or playing the same consistent lineups, because this is what you should be doing. But I like what Arteta is doing, man. And, I think next season the gloves are off. You don't get Champions League, question marks, really. If you get it this year, fantastic. But there needs to start being this healthy sort of pressure. But, yeah, man, I think Arteta is doing good things for the club, really and truly. So it is what it is. And again, whether he's getting change out of duds or not, bro, this is his squad. Like we've had a massive squad turnaround, in my opinion, anyways. We've had a squad turnaround, whether they've been brought to the club by him or not. Nobody is in that squad because he doesn't want them to. The players that are, that aren't in his plans are not really playing, or they've been flushed out. So, yeah, getting change out of duds, that's what you're expected. Respectfully, look at Klopp. Henderson, man weren't rating Henderson like that, and he's still not rated like that, but they got a change out of him. There was remember Cancelo used to be a shit fullback, kind of slyly he used to be shit, smack the like button, and he's got a change out of them. And there's probably a couple of other players, City probably an extreme example. So this is what you got to do. And when you've got all this potential, we need to see it in it, really and truly. So yeah, it is what it is, people, man. I'd rather spend 80 million on him than Isaac or Osimhen, Lautaro. Oh, I don't know about that. I'd think Osimhen and Lautaro are quite neck and neck in that regards for who I'd rather spend the bag on. I'm not prepared to commit that outlay to Isaac at this moment in time, man. Seeing we've secured Europa at least, what do you think should be our focus next season, seeing that we'll unlikely be able to compete on all 4 fronts? Well, it's the same as it should be, man. You have to consistently try and get top 4. You have to get top 4 again. That's the minimum. It should be moving towards that top 4. Speaking for myself, you have to try and fight for top 4. I'm an Arsenal man, so I'm always going to want us to go as far as we can in the FA Cup. And although Mikel Arteta has won the FA Cup, I don't think he's respected that competition enough times for me. So go as far as you can in that. Whether you're in the Europa or the Champions League, if you're in the Europa, you need to get to the final. If you're in the Champions League, give a good account of yourself, really, because listen, we'll deal with the Champions League problems when it comes, if it comes, but just get out the group stages in it. I don't think our players, the ones that are good enough, they're not enough of them. We're very young, we're very naive. I don't think we've got the caliber to do serious things in the Champions League, and we probably will end up getting embarrassed. So just get out the group stages, man. And this is minimum requirements, man. I actually believe Arteta will be on Pep levels. I'm not kidding, and I can see that it's crazy to say because he hasn't really done anything yet. That's great, man. You know, that is great for him, but man need to see it, innit? Europe missed you, Arsenal. With G1, you're waiting for the crumbling, innit? As I said, we'll deal with them things there next week. By what game do you think we can realistically claim top 4 by? By winning against Everton on the last day of the season and seeing game week 38 Arsenal 4th. As I always say, I haven't personally been looking at the league table. I haven't looked at the league table. Many people talk about Arsenal being in a top 4 race. I can't say I've seen it. I can't say I've entertained it. What Arsenal need to do is focus game by game and just doing your job, man. If Arsenal were in the top 4 shouts based on what you lot are saying, then I think you've got to win 3 of the last 4 games, really and truly, to give yourselves. I think if you beat Leeds and you hope Liverpool allegedly could do you a favour, you're firmly in the driving seat. But stranger things have happened, really and truly. And although it's been amazing winning the last 3 games, let's be honest, if we're removing the emotion and stuff, we need to improve massively. At this point of the season, it's about getting or drawn West Ham. Chelsea, United, the same. We need to improve a lot. We have, we can't keep doing this thing where we look at the teams and say, yeah, we're going to win this, that, and the third. Because although we've won those 3 games, what happened the first 3 games before that in the 6-game period? The bogey teams, Palace, Brighton, and obviously Southampton. So the boys, obviously, it's great to beat West Ham. It's great to win 3 after losing 3, but get that out of your system on this Tuesday morning and prepare for Leeds, because they're going to not look like the Leeds team that got battered against City. They're going to want to beat us because we did the double over them. They're going to want to prove to their manager. They're going to want to put in a shift. Everyone's going to want to spoil our party, allegedly. Lampard will want to spoil Arsenal's party on the last day of the season. Leeds do not care about what Arsenal want to do for top 4. I am not looking forward to going to St. James's Park. I know Liverpool didn't have to be at their best to beat them, but that day is going to be a difficult one. Joe Willock, if you really are a Halem boy, you need to stink up. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. Personally, I still think Chelsea will finish 3rd, allegedly, because you lot said Chelsea are 3rd. I hear they're 3 points behind. Arsenal are 3 points behind them. I would love for Chelsea to keep bottling, because competing for 2 spots is better than 1, is what I would say, man, really. But once again, we need to turn up against Leeds before anything. Control the variables you can control, because what happens if you'd imagine Liverpool beat Liverpool beat Spurs, but stranger things have happened. I said it to my boy yesterday. I can't lie. A draw would be perfect because it means City winning the league over Liverpool, but I just think Liverpool are doing the quadruple. But I wouldn't say I can't see Spurs putting in a result. Of course, Anfield is brazy. Spurs are brazy. But stranger things have happened in the Premier League. And this is the time where strange things have happened. Like, stranger things have happened than Spurs potentially beating Liverpool, if I'm completely honest with you. Which, Arsenal to Liverpool, if we got this link up, you lot stop them winning the Champions League, which would have been hell. You know what you need to do for us right now, innit? Please, Liverpool. It is what it is, man. Yeah, you lot are in top form. Please make sure you're smacking that like button. But yeah, man. Top 4 chances. We need to focus. That'll be the first timestamp. Smash the like button once again. So yeah, man. Man said DG educating me and every other Arsenal. I appreciate that. You lot educating yourself, man. I'm just blessed to be here with you lot and talk football. But yeah, man, game week 38, bro. Game week 38, man. Crazy stuff, man. Aaron Hickey news does excite me. Hayes, this is the first striker links that's felt tangible. I personally think Arteta will go for one major striker and getting Eddie on a new contract. I hear that, but I don't know how it makes sense. But for me, I'm not a fan of rewriting history. I think Arsenal fans do it. Like, obviously, I would say from pre-season, Eddie Nketiah has improved, really and truly. Eddie Nketiah has shown. I've said it several times. I don't think he's anything to shout about, but I do think You know, like I went to the Spurs stadium yesterday to watch Brighton versus Spurs 0-0. It was the worst under 23s game I've watched this season. The referee even added on 10 minutes. The referee, there was back passes from Spurs. He wasn't giving indirect free kicks. But my point was, I watched Dane Scarlett, and there's a lot of similarities in that. Dane Scarlett's still at that age where you're waiting. He's only 18, but you have to be proactive as a footballer. He's waiting for things to happen. And I think at academy level, you get that. And a lot of the time, Eddie was that. You know, now he's getting involved a lot more. He's getting stronger. He's pulling out to the left-hand channel. Against West Ham, he's dropping deep. You know, he's dropping deep and winning foul. Lost the ball a couple of times, but he's doing the Lacazette thing to a degree, dropping deep. A bit of it is frustration because him, Odegaard, are not getting on the ball because we ain't got that number 8 and that, but he's dropping deep. Second half, on the left-hand side on the counter-attack, Eddie could be a good player in the squad and he's turning the corner. The reality, and again, I would say this season, I would say this is where I kind of judge Eddie Nketiah's sample size, because I think he's showing something. And maybe when you get some players, once you get a chance to show what you can do your thing in it. And I think he was good against Southampton. I think his best game of the season undoubtedly is against Chelsea. I know he scored a hat-trick in the cup, but serious business now. Did well against Southampton, did well against United, should have scored, should have bagged against West Ham, but did well. Did well against Chelsea as well, done well against West Ham. So the last few games he's been all right. The problem is, and there is a reality to have 3 strikers in the squad where whether we're in Champions League or Europa League, allegedly, we're going to be in Europe. So there's game time. But the problem is, how much game time is that for Eddie Nketiah? Because again, you know, we won the game, but had something have gone different against West Ham, I don't think it would just be his fault, but we might be questioning the level of finishing. I want Eddie Nketiah to sign a new deal purely because there's money to be made. If I'm him, I'm not signing a new deal purely because do the basics. Arsenal, bro, you're only playing because, you know, Lacazette's form is iffy, and even Arteta didn't want to even mess with him, really. If Aubameyang didn't, you know, do whatever, Eddie might never have played, really. Lacazette may never have got new contract shout. So sometimes you need circumstances to turn the corner and arrive and whatnot. But listen, Gabez, this is fan. You know, I've started to think he's just using us to get a new deal or leverage interest elsewhere. We can't rewrite history. I mean, if we're going into the Champions League or trying to go to the latter stages of Europa respectfully with Gab Jesus and Eddie Nketiah, then we're setting ourselves up for failure. And what I mean by that is Gab Jesus is a lovely footballer. I want him to come to the Emirates. But what's the first thing you hear about him? Since he's been linked with Arsenal, he's bagging. But what's the first thing you hear? Work rate, etc. He's got the potential to score goals. He hasn't got the catalogue for goals. Eddie Nketiah is learning. Respectfully, 2 goals in his last 4? 2 came in the same game. Should have scored against... listen, it's harsh, but should have scored against United. Technically put the ball in the back of the net. VAR disallowed it in the build-up to the pen, but should have scored. Should have had a snatching at chances. You know what? I like to see my striker taking chances because I think Eddie's doing the right things, and whether it's here or not, you will score goals because you're getting in the right position. But finishing, really, I'd love for Eddie to sign a new deal, have 3 strikers in the squad, go out on loan, maybe sell him for a profit, but he's put himself in the shop window. If you're Crystal Palace and these clubs there, you're looking at him. If I'm a German club and them sort of club there, I'm thinking, boy, we'll take Eddie for 12, 18 months. He'll be given a platform. We'll sell him back to the same market he left. I do think there's a lot of revision of history, and it's been there with Tavares, you know. Tavares better than Tierney. El Nene new deal, which isn't necessarily the wrong thing. It's just the sample size. I mean, we kind of have to be a bit harsh. You need a striker, you know. Does Eddie Nketiah playing through the middle next season transform our club? No. Does Gab Jesus not necessarily as good as he is for the squad? You need to buy a 30 striker. You need to buy a second striker like Jesus, who's a hybrid who can do both. You've still got the option of Martinelli. These are things for him to consider. Of course, I hope that Arteta promises him everything because Arteta's been gassing him for time and now he's finally playing. But Eddie, look at what it's taken for you to finally get opportunities. If I'm Eddie Nketiah's advisors, I'm not signing a new deal personally. I'm going where I can play minutes because it's a bit like Nelson, who I'm doing a separate video on. It'd be great for these guys to be involved, but in an ideal world, there's not going to be too many opportunities to play week in, week out. You know, Eddie Nketiah is ahead of Balogun in his development and stuff, but you've got Balogun new deal, KHAYON Edwards new deal, you know. 2 new strikers might arrive. Where is that going to place you? It's good for the club, and I want Eddie and Arteta to promise him everything under the sun. But if Eddie Nketiah, he needs to look at this without emotion. I do have a big respect for Eddie Nketiah, Rob Holding, El Nene, because they follow the same theme. Arteta comes out and says they're training well, they're doing whatever. Eddie's a Highland boy. Would love for him to sign a new deal, especially because he's developing in that. But we need to not get excited and get euphoria and look at the sample size. Again, this might be his development and where he's taking a corner, but he's 22. I don't think he's ever going to be in the same category as Jamie Vardy, Aubameyang, and Kane. But where were they at 22? And you've seen the pressure, you know. Ronaldo's got 18 league goals. He went on a little, I wouldn't even say drought, but he stopped scoring for a sec. Oh, Ronaldo's finished. Kane the same logic. Salah got 20 league goals, cooled off for like 2-3 games. The same logic was said, you know. So there's that scrutiny, you know. Right now it's the euphoria. You're giving the clubs, we were Lacazette was giving us what Aubameyang couldn't. Now Eddie is giving us what Lacazette couldn't, you know. So we need to kind of rein it in a bit, because again, it's very different when you're going through a full season. This is where I'm saying I'm happy to see squad players standing up to be counted, but we can't rewrite history really and truly. Even with Cedric, people are saying we don't need a backup right back, we don't need a better left back, you know, we don't need certain midfielders. We have to be very careful. It's very different when you need someone to play 20 to 38 games. Part of the squad, great, but is that good enough for Eddie Nketiah to develop? I don't know. And I just think these sort of things are being made with emotion. And if Arteta wants him, he's allowed to keep him. But we have to look at this with a bit without emotion and euphoria and these things. Because as I said, my first instinct, Eddie signed a new deal. I wish they could deploy me. I'll tell Eddie Nketiah every lie under the sun. You're gonna play, bro, number 9 when Lacazette keeps it moving. Once you sign that new deal, I never said that. What? You said that? Why'd you believe me? Don't believe me. I'm a true liar. You know, sign your deal. But if I'm him, I'm not doing that. And if we look at it without emotion, in my heart, as much as I want that, bro, we need 2 strikers, bro. You need someone who can do the Rafa Leao, Gab this thing rotation. You need to work with Martinelli to be able to play there. You need to get a number 9 and a number 8 specifically that improve this squad immediately. Like them 2 signings transform the starting 11. Then you probably need a next striker for squad depth and stuff, where Jesus comes in and potential and all that jazz. Another number 8. Ideally, you know, you could, if we had bread, I would say 3 midfielders, but I think you need 2. So I've already saying 4 signings, 2 strikers, 2 centre mids. Arsenal tax probably means 50% sort of stuff. We'll get on to Aaron Hickey in a sec, but left back required. I know Hickney can play in both roles, but left back required, right back, backup required. You know, we've got Matt Turner. I don't know for his thing as a backup keeper, but yeah, man, surgery, and it's the quality of depth, you know. There's no point having depth for no reason, you know. If there's 10 games, you'll see 5 good games from El, and then 5 underwhelming ones. The same for Lacazette, the same for Eddie Nketiah, the same for a few of these Cedric, Tavares. These are hot and cold, man. And let's be honest, like, we need better depth. There can't be too much of a fall off in quality. Again, we're not Liverpool, but look at the midfield depth. Yes, some players are more glamorous than others and whatnot, but they've got Henderson, Fabinho, you know, these sort of guys there, and many others. The drop off, you can't go from Tierney to Tavares, Tomiyasu to Cedric. What Aubameyang used to give this team to Eddie. Respectfully, I'm not trying to get onto players. You can't. I know we need nice guys and things like that, but we need, whether you're going to play 3 games or 38 games, we need people that are levels. And I want to keep Eddie. I'm not against El Nene signing a new deal, but when I look at this without emotion, it's probably best Eddie keeps it moving. It's probably best to not give El Nene a new deal. Some fans will swear blind the Lacazette new deal, but they were twerking for a Lacazette new deal. So we need to make educated risks. And when you just look at the numbers, Eddie Nketiah, what has it taken for you to get your opportunity? You know, if Arsenal got Vlahovic and these guys in January and the inquiry for Darwin Nunes worked, you might not have played. Arteta's been gassing you for months, telling you a chance has come. But he never gave you a chance until now when we're down to our bare bones. And I'm not criticizing Arteta because he needs to get results. This is why when fans have said, oh, Lokonga, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Eddie, all of these guys at points who have been dropped or not in the team, it's like you can't have everything. Everyone can't get a game. You can't have everybody getting a game, everyone being consistent and 3 points. You can't have everything. This is a ruthless thing. You know, if you're not doing the business at Liverpool City, you're holding bench for time. Everyone can't get a game sort of thing. So it's a very interesting one, man, but we're bugging. So yeah, man. Can't wait to get pumped 5-1 at Bayern Munich again. I want a domestic cup double and top 4 again next season. I don't know where West Ham put us. Well, we've played, yeah. So what? Let's not forget against West Ham, Chelsea, and Manchester divided. We played with injuries. We played with injuries in August. What are we talking about? Football teams have to play with injuries, mate. It's part and parcel, and this is why I'm unforgiving, bro. Like, injuries are part and parcel. It's like being a chef. If you cut your hand, whose fault is that? You wanted to be a chef, bro? GB. It's like being a content creator. Every now and again, you're gonna get someone saying something dumb. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, bro. You can't catch me, G1, man. That's my guy, though, man. Hey, well, I don't know about no Arsenal, but I'd rather do the Arsenal to Liverpool link up than Spurs Chester United. Manchester United tried to hijack Dortmund's move for Karim Adeyemi at the last minute. The RB Salzburg forward rejected an offer worth 150 a week from United because his priority was always to join Dortmund. My boy knows football heritage, man. Them man there in the mud. They tried to bring out Alex Ferguson and show Jude Bellingham around Carrington. He said, fuck all of that. Who's this old man? You don't know him. Not old enough to remember him, man. Bruv, Eddie Nketiah, and this is the thing about football, bro. It's always about potential. Jesus, I love him. I want him to come and be part of the team. I want a number 9 that can kind of, no one can guarantee it for you, but guarantee goals. And by all means, Eddie, Jesus, all this potential business. But it's about what we're doing today. You know, you could, by all means, learn how to score goals. If man are not scoring goals next season, we're in problems like this year. So it's a very interesting one. If Eddie has to look at it without no emotion, even El Nene, him and Cedric were leaving in January. You see the same common forms. You've heard they had offers and then something happened, they're staying. So it's football is emotion, and you can't not have emotion, but we need to be educational. I'd give El Nene a new deal if he's cool to just be on the bench, and he'd be one that, truthfully, I'll be honest, you wouldn't make the match day squad too many times next season if I had my way in midfield. But if we drop down to our bare bones, that's an option. Probably needs to keep it moving. And Nketiah, for me, I'm just thinking about the bands, bro. Like, it's just the peas. Smash the like button, YouTube folks. I'm just thinking about the peas, bro. Like, it's just a peas thing with him, innit? And this is where we should have got it. He shouldn't have went down to last summer with his contract running out. For Eddie, it's another case of when a player's finally turning the corner, it's a myth. And the same way we made some bread on Joe Willett, that could have been some bread on Nketiah, you know, because in the last few times, players have popped up. Joe Willett going on loan, half a season, did his thing. Whether we wanted Emi Martinez to leave, he popped up for a second after being here for years, got some money. Eddie Nketiah, if he was tied down to 3-4 year deal, half the teams, Palace, Newcastle, West Ham, Brighton, these teams that have been linked with him, Gladbach, who were going to get him for free probably, or one of them German teams, you could have been in a position, yeah, all right, 30 million, 40 million, buyback clause, sell-on clause. Well, Arsenal don't do the buyback clause, but you get the point, man. Haaland has to start making peas for guys, man. And it's just like Eddie, you got Reece Nelson and Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Decisions are going to need to be made come summer on those. Tomiyasu needs to start at left back against Leeds, and who starts right back? Cedric. I don't mind it, but rather just have Tomiyasu at right back, man. But then again, Tavares is a hazard, man. Crazy, man. Our turnaround to winning ways started when we shored up our midfield. El Nene is pivotal. So what about when he was winning games before he got in the side? He's done well in these 3 games, but we were right in history. This is what I mean about balance. You can't be completely dismissive of giving Eddie Nketiah a new deal. You can't rewrite history. He's done his thing, but I mean, come on now. And that's another one. Like, you look at it without emotion. ARTETA doesn't play you week in, week out. He doesn't play you unless it's down to the bare bones, like we've seen. Sometimes this is where players come in, but we're kind of answering our own questions, man. I don't know about pivotal. I mean, every now and again, you see purple patches for a number of these players, like I said, Nketiah, Tavares of recent, Cedric, you know, and then we start rewriting history. Boy, we're going to be in the same position saying the same things unless we do something different. Crazy stuff, man. Eddie's been doing well, but we 100% need an upgrade on our strike force. Smash the likes or unexpected high bill. Subscribe, road to 50k and follow on Twitch. Come on. Did you watch the Eddie interview? Yeah, man. Get Defoe vibes from Eddie. Tenacious as fuck, pardon me, but not quite ruthless enough for top level. Still maybe with a few more. Bro, he's a youth, man, bro. Like, again, he's 22. There is Balogun too, which, again, I'm happy because, again, Balogun's learning. He ain't, on the surface, 17 appearances, 3 goals, 3 assists in the championship, but he's learning. Too many fans think that man are just going to go from 23's football and just start bagging bare goals. It don't really work like that. These dons have to learn. I am more intrigued in seeing that. Forget the numbers. Then seeing someone score 3-4 goals in the cup, where we're playing meaty teams, or smash it at 23's level, that's dead. He should watch Vardy, bro. You should be watching every one of them players there. Exactly. The drop-off in quality off the bench is too steep, DJ, if we want to go to the next level. Gnabry would be amazing, man. But yeah, man. Big up you lot, man. Every fan base over... Oh, it's frozen. Every fan base overhypes players, broski. Always therapeutic listening to your views. Stop cutting onions, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Do you think we'll sign Darwin Nunes? I don't know what the hell we'll do, broski. I don't know what the hell we'll do. Listen, Darwin Nunes, awesome. As I always say, I'll shut my mouth, but come the end of August, the opening day of September, or the close of the transfer window, but if I don't see midfielders, boy, do Arteta, what on? Strikers, what on? Like, because realistically, we hardly get these names that we're speculated with. We're just here for all of this. Hope you're not saying a madness, but yeah, man, big up yourself if you're not doing a madness, man. People should brace for an uninspiring summer, judging by the comment section here. DG speaking a lot of sense, RE, El Nene, and Nketiah, but we need a squad. Can't lose too many before. And this is why, you know, again, it's naive to think we're going to get rid of Bear Man and keep Bear Man. There are a couple in an ideal world. I probably just need to get rid, but there is a reality where you could hold on to Ainsley Maitland-Niles. You know, again, it is what it is, but is he a worse left back than obviously Tavares? Obviously, from a selfish point of view, for a club point of view, you're not going to play too much, but is it worse than that? Could he have given us an option in midfield? You know, if Torreira weren't squad, couple of people, but it is what it is, people. You know, we're gonna have to deal with it. And maybe with being in Europe, some of these squad players might say, boy, you know what, I might not play too much, but there's games there. Arsenal part of the Champions League, I could be involved. I don't know. But where I look at in Eddie Nketiah, in Reece Nelson, in Ainsley Maitland-Niles is the best option necessary for the squad, for the fans, for depth. It probably is good for us to stay. Is it the best for their individual development? Is Eddie Nketiah, boy, if you're not going to get if you're not going to play at least 20 of the 38 games in some capacity, forget about it. Realistically, forget about it. And I'd even say 30, bro, because this is where these men need to play week in, week out. Sometimes, do you know how, to be fair to Eddie Nketiah, do you know how difficult it is to really affect a game? And I know sometimes he could have put himself about and make more of a meal of things, as Ian Wright previously said. But realistically, it's tough for any player to consistently affect a game with 5 minutes, 10 minutes, things like that. You know, some man can do it, and sometimes that's how you get your chance, like Lacazette. Some people need an extended run in the side for whatever has caused this. Nketiah has been given that, you know, and he's showing his thing. In your hearts, Arsenal fans, is that what you want to see in the summer, or better yet in August? I'm big up Eddie and these things, but come on now, you know, as you've seen with injuries, bro. If we're gonna, without stating the obvious, and there will be incomings, you know, can you bet on El Nene and Nketiah and these sort of guys if they're significant? See how we've done it for 3 games. Could you bet on that for 38 or 20 of those? In the same way, Liverpool could say, even worse comes to worse, there's Milner there, there's Keita, there's this, there's third. I don't really like using the City example because obviously the man there are spoiled, but you get the point. We can't rewrite history. As much as I'm not against it, there's a lot of players in this halfway house, and some will have to be retained. You know, I'm like Freya Nene, for example. I think in an ideal world, I would bring in 2 midfielders. You know, I'd bring in 2 midfielders. You've got Xhaka there. You've got Tomiyasu, Partey there, Thomas Partey there, and then I'd have Lokonga. And I think Lokonga will be much better next season. But I could understand, if Lokonga wants to go out on loan, or if we could loan him out and things, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't know. We might say, you know what, boy, Nene, sign a 1-year deal. You're cool, innit? All right, you're the sort of bridge sort of gap. I'm on that sort of stuff. So I'm on that. Out of all them squad dons, like El Nene can stay, Eddie for Peas, the Cedrics, these man, I'm sorry, you got to flush them out. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. He's got to go. I'll be honest, Tavares, you're my guy. You're a madman, but I like you. I need a new left back, bro. You can stay, you could be part of the squad and that, like play a couple games here and there, but I'm screaming, nip that one there in the bud, loan that out. You signed him for 8 million. If you can't make double the profit, or you can't sell him for that much, then we've got a problem. Loan him out, see where he is from 12 months. But for me, Kieran Tierney, next left back, boom, is what it is. You know, we'll never move Saka. I don't think we should be. Even I'm against moving Saka to left back now. But bro, a right winger is better than you at left back now. That's not. I'm not trying to take shots at Tavares. This is the reality of the situation. So I think sometimes we just have to know when a signing's not worked out. Not every project is gonna bang. Sometimes we just have to nip it in the bud. It's like with Chelsea, it's different. But with Lukaku, that one there just has to get nipped in the bud. It was in hindsight, it was never gonna work. Just clip it. I like Fabian Ruiz still. Do you think we should go for Arthur Melo? Why not, man? Oh, big up Origi, but even that, he don't want to be a side man. The other day, Klopp said he's tried to bust out, we've tried to sell him. I'm worried about Ramsdale's form. I'm not, they're all volatile and young squads. There's been times throughout the season where Saka, Smith Rowe, Tavares, even Martinelli, half of these young players, they've shown consistency, but there's been times where others have been better. And Ramsdale, at times when the team need carrying, Ramsdale carried the team. Now Ramsdale needs a bit of carrying, if you could say that, because Ramsdale made a bad boy save to deny Declan Rice. Declan Rice, it's funny how good you are when you're just focusing on football and not listening to Morrison or anyone and thinking you're on any sort of crud. Relax yourself, behave yourself, man. You're a very good guy. So yeah, people, 1 sec. I'll be back in a second, people. I'm not going anywhere. I just think I've got someone's at my door. I've got my ring notification on my laptop. 1 sec. Thought it was Amazon, but it's brown letters. So uninspiring. Yeah, we're back again, people, man. Do you think Milinkovic-Savic would be a good fit? Yes and no. I like him. I think he's a good midfielder, but I don't exactly. While he can be progressive in midfield, it's not exactly what we need, man. Saka could play everywhere, but yeah, man, that's pretty damning. Exactly, but again, the right thing would be to give Eddie Bear game time. For Eddie, it would be great to start week in, week out. For Arsenal, like, the club comes first. I don't really care about anyone's personal situations, really, man. Do you think City will let Jesus go? It looks like he might be going, but I don't know, man. He could be using us to get new interests elsewhere. I don't know what's up with him, man, really. How can it be disgusting seeing people? Why not? What's wrong with bigging up Tomiyasu, White, and Ramsdale? What's wrong with... Listen, I can only speak for myself, but if you think they're good players or been good, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with... It's nonsense, man. I need to see at least one midfielder in pre-season. Need to be ready for the start. Next year might be a bit weird with the World Cup. Bro, football, as we know, it's about to nosedive, man. I really think football's about to change, man, come that World Cup. I think that's going to signify the end of this thing, man. Really. Carlos Soler. Why not, man? Jesus wants regular game time for the World Cup. He will leave if he gets a good offer. Have they made a clone out of Tavares and kept him at Benfica, bro? A clone. I'm not being funny, but bro, you could just see what Tavares was before we signed him, and whoever suggested him in the analytical department, gotta have a word. I know things can go wrong, but we gotta have a word, man. What was going on? We might as well get into this transfer talk, really and truly, man. Really, with that being said, let's look at the transfer stuff. The first way I want to start is with Aaron Hickey. Aaron Hickey. Now, I like him a lot. I actually think he could have a future in midfield, and some of the people that watch him from Scotland agree. I think he could end up as a centre mid. You've actually seen him like in Scotland play as a centre half. He can play left back. He can play right back. I don't want him signed for goals, but he's got 5 goals this season. He ties in at 19 years of age. He ties in with what we're doing. He likes to defend. He's still young. There's still rawness. There's still naiveness. He's not the finished article, but he's kind of cut from the same cloth as Kieran Tierney. Got that Scottish heart and desire, perfecting his skills over in Italy with Bologna, and obviously we've got a good relationship with them. Can we go in for him? I mean, you lot have been here, innit? I've spoken about Aaron Hickey on several occasions, man. I think the earliest video is 2019. He's someone that we should be, pardon me, looking to bring in, and probably Calvin Ramsey, because these guys provide potential options and profit. I'm open to pay the 20 million euros, bring him in. You and Tierney, two flying Scotsmen, do your thing. Tavares, you can stay, you can be part of this thing, play about 5-10 games next season, but you know, it's probably best you pattern a loan spell somewhere. That's what I'm screaming, because I just think the drop-off is too often. And he can also play at right back and probably do it better than Cedric. Apparently, Napoli are onto him. Newcastle, Aston Villa, West Ham United. Half of these people have been linked with him. So you have to take it with a pinch of salt, people. With a pinch of salt. As you can see here, people, again, Google Translate. Bologna has set the price at 20 million for Hickey. There is Napoli in the lead, but there are also Fiorentina and many Premier League clubs. According to Radio Kiss Kiss Napoli, the Napoleons, I don't even know, would be serious for Aaron Hickey. The Scotsman is having a great season with good performances and 5 goals to his credit. The broadcaster confirms that Napoli has requested it, and he might not even want to leave Italy, so it must be a wavy country to live. The negotiation to great competition to win the 2002 class. That's the year he's born. Bologna has set the asking price at 20 million euros. Many clubs have asked about him: Arsenal, Newcastle, and West Ham, in addition to many big names in Serie A, Milan, Juventus, and Fiorentina, people. So make of that what you will. Apparently, Arsenal have inquired about him. Like I said, he's 19. He's adaptable. He ties into what we want. You know, I'm sure we can verify his thing with Tomiyasu's ex-employers. It's a goal for me. You know, it's a goal for me, really and truly. You know, they're laughing because, again, in 2020, they paid 1.5 million for him. It's crazy, people. And again, he's someone that is 9 times out of 10 fit and available, but I don't know if he's in a rush anytime soon to leave where he is. But 20 million well spent for me, if I'm completely honest. Allegedly, Neves has chosen Barcelona over Man United and Arsenal, people. For what that, make of that what you will. Where else are we? Let's skip a bit ahead. Again, the Osimhen links are getting quite tiresome, if I'm completely honest with you lot, people. But nonetheless, Arsenal are the #1 contenders to sign Napoli's Victor Osimhen this summer, but the Serie A side won 84 million for the informed Nigerian. 17 goals this season. And yeah, man, it's the same old. Newcastle need a striker. We need a striker. United need a striker. And they've actually said Ranić said they might get 2, regardless of Ronaldo. So make of it what you will. But Arsenal are leading the race. I don't know. I don't believe anything that comes out of Italy 9 times out of 10. What race is there to lead? Put the money on the table. It is where it is. We know we need firepower, because we'll get on to Eddie. But on this moment in time, they're busting out, really. So it is what it is. Apparently, the Gunners are already making moves to revamp their front line ahead of next season, and now ahead of the pack in the race to sign Osimhen. Why though? Why are we ahead? What are we ahead on? Because if United make an offer, if Arsenal make an offer, even if Newcastle make an offer, I think there's reasons for and against. You know, Arsenal were doing a good, you know, we tried to get you from 17. We've got the history and all that jazz. You know, you could want to sign for us. Same logic with Manchester United and what Ten Hag is trying to do. So I think it's either or there. Newcastle, you could be the main man, earn a lot of money, and they're have been running in a few years. I don't want to admit it, definitely not for Arsenal's case, but you could make a case for Newcastle could be challenging for a league title way before Man United and Arsenal if they don't back up their ideas. So I think there's reasons for and against, and Napoli are difficult to do business within it, but you never know. Maybe if you offer Pepe, Tavares, 2 players they tried grab before, things could be done. If Fiorentina act iffy, maybe Torreira can be offered there and whatnot. In fact, Osimhen is even more alluring for Arsenal than Vlahovic, given his physicality and athleticism attributes that the club are looking for in a new striker. 84 million. We know what it is, people. Apparently, the player is aware of Premier League interest and open to it. We've heard all this before, innit? Like, realistically, I haven't really got much time for this, innit? Because we've seen all of this, we've heard all of this before. It's nothing extremely new. If you're a Man United or Arsenal fan, you've seen, some of you have probably seen Victor Osimhen's name and face more time than you've seen your kids. But yeah, it is what it is. From one striker to another, Mikel Arteta will make a final attempt to keep Eddie Nketiah at Arsenal, but Premier League clubs and top clubs in Europe want the striker, and he knows he could fall out of favour if the club saying, "Hey, Jesus, Gabriel, this is leash your problems." advisors. Mikel might tell you something, things might change, but me, I know there's probably other German and foreign and Premier League clubs that might offer me more regular football. I'd probably be keeping it moving personally. But for what it's worth, people, Arsenal must convince new first choice striker Eddie Nketiah he will not revert back to a peripheral role next season. I'm sorry, but if we want to be a big club and competition is key, no promises should be given. What I do think is there should be an honest chat. You know, if you're bringing in two strikers, clearly there's pressure for minutes. And then Eddie's free to make a decision. But I'm not a fan of this, you know. Again, Liverpool are probably not sitting there and telling all their attackers and whatnot, you're guaranteed this and that. City the same. People are going to be unhappy. But I'm sorry. And as much as I like Eddie Nketiah and what he's doing, bro, you're not the sort of player to be giving promises to. Saying that, as I said at the start, give him every promise under the Eddie's advisors. Keep doing what you're doing. You're putting yourself in the shop window. You're alerting new advisors. And for Arsenal, you've played a dangerous game because you've got someone at 22 that's finally looking like he could play Premier League football and showing other aspects of his game. You're in a weakened position. You just have to hope the man's very naive, if I'm honest with you. But we'll make a last-ditch attempt, you know. Trained and all these things, but minutes are currency. You've barely played. It's taken Arsenal to drop to their bare bones. Probably failed to sign a striker in January. The loss of Lacazette's form, Aubameyang's nonsense going on for you to really get your opportunity through there. And sometimes circumstances happen. Sometimes maybe you're not ready. But for all the talk about training and playing well, there's that. Nketiah is understood to have generated particular interest in Germany and France, while a number of Premier League clubs are also set to make the forward formal offer. Nketiah's recent promotion at the Emirates Stadium is likely to lead to Arsenal making one last attempt to convince others, but the prospect of playing more regularly for Arsenal could yet influence his final decision. And the way you're playing, you might even be an option off that left, off that right, or through the middle, but you're a striker. You're not the guy to be promising minutes, so probably needs to keep it moving because Arsenal do need to bring someone that can play up front or another couple of roles like Jesus, and they do need to go for the Darwin Nunes, the Martinez, the Osimhen. So you can be part of this squad, but there's no guarantees in it. You haven't got the catalogue to have that. You're still learning. In playing time as he ponders his next move and will want to be satisfied or have a greater opportunity to feature next season before even considering a new deal at Arsenal. And why to sign at least one new striker this summer, with Gabriel Jesus among the players they're keen on, which could leave Nketiah back in the cold. Nketiah will wait until the end of the season before making a decision. I mean, we all know the man's busting out in it, so it is what it is where that is concerned, folks. That is a bit irrelevant. But Arsenal renew interest in Inter Milan forward Lautaro Martinez as hopes of Champions League qualification grow, with Argentine moving to top of a list that includes Gabriel Jesus and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, I think the original writer of this in the Telegraph, I'm not in the know. I know things go wrong in that, but he said Spurs agreed an offer and it didn't happen. So you got to take things with a pinch of salt. It seems like things are recycling, you know. If we just quickly skip here, no more Lukaku and Hakimi cases. Inter's plan to ward off Arsenal and Manchester United. According to this publication, Inter are determined to keep hold of Lautaro Martinez, who recently signed a new deal, despite interest from Arsenal and United, and would rather sell some of their starlets, such as Pinamonti and Martin Serratino. As you know, Inter must allegedly have to balance books at the end of the season. Obviously, last season, Hakimi and Lukaku went. Apparently, Martinez is among the most wanted players in Europe. He's got 21 goals across all comps. His agent has recently been in touch with middlemen of Arsenal, Manchester United, Atletico, and Tottenham Hotspur. He signed a deal until 2026. And according to reports, they'd rather sell some of their emerging talents. So they're trying to hold on to him and play hardball, people. But yeah, so that just bear that in mind. And going back to this one, let's see. We're gonna keep hearing the same thing. We tried to get him and Tammy Abraham last summer. We know that in Arsenal had admirers of him, Darwin Nunes, Osimhen, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Abraham, and every now and again the rumors recycle. It's the same names, and then every now and again we'll hear that we've contacted agents. There's been concrete talks, etc., etc. This is why I said here all we'll do is speculate and talk about things, but past that, until somebody signs or doesn't sign, or the win is moving towards the top of a list that includes Gabriel Jesus and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. 21 goals in 44 appearances this season, helping Inter mount a challenge. He's got 70 goals in 177 since joining from them. They're struggling financially, and that is why the bulk of this rumour has happened. Arsenal approached Inter last summer but could not offer the 60 million valuation, which was met by Tottenham before the Italian club basically said no. So we'll have to read into that, people. We'll have to read into that. Apparently, Manchester City have set an asking price for Arsenal to sign Gabriel Jesus. It's gone up to 40 million, which could be 40 million well spent. You've spent 52 on Lacazette. Gabriel Jesus at 40 million with Pep Guardiola open to allowing the Arsenal target to leave in the summer. Now, personally, I think he's being used he's using us to get a move elsewhere and things like that. Because if we sign what I call a tier A target in Martinez, Darwin Nunes, etc., you've got Saka on the right. The left's probably open season with Pepe's days numbered. Smith Rowe, I'd say that's his all day at this moment, even though his form's taking a wobble. Martinelli as well. Even for Gab Jesus, it's not necessarily so. And you've worked with Arteta before. Apparently City, as we've spoken about Gabriel Jesus enough, man. We've heard they've tried to sell him for the last 4 years, etc., etc. Apparently he's open to moving to the Emirates, but he wants to play Champions League football. So, boy, apart from us being able to offer him, you know, working with a guy he knows in Arteta, a platform, and being a leader of a young squad, we can offer him European football. We can't specify Champions League. We can offer him consistent game time going into the World Cup, but away from that, I don't know, people. So, yeah, it is what it is. We've heard that around not Darwin Nunes, my man already. This was before we played West Ham, but Mikel Arteta suggests Hector Bellerin remains part of his transfer plans. He's going to say that because Betis haven't, Bellerin's more or less said, I'm saying in Spain, it's not the time to really talk about transfers. Again, negotiations are happening. He knows Bellerin. He's never going to fully close the door or rule it out. We all know that it's done, innit? Bellerin will stay in Spain, in my opinion. And he's been quite vague. He said, any player with a contractual obligation with us is our player, and considered our player. So every plan is considering that possibility that Bellerin stays and how they can fit into the team. Boy, I'm not really with it, man. Bellerin, thank you for the memories. It's done, innit? And apparently Arsenal are looking at Tuchemani, who we should have been grabbing when he was at Bordeaux, people. But Arsenal in pole position to beat Man United to the signing of next Patrick Vieira. I mean, these journalists are going to gas up the thing. But anyways, people, we know Edu has said transfer things are being done. Football.London understands the likes of Gabriel Jesus, Tammy Abraham, Darwin Nunes, and Cody Gakpo. His injury record kind of scares me apart from that. Of all players of interest to Arteta, signaling another potentially ambitious window at London Coley. You throw in Arthur Melo, Jonathan David, half of these guys. That's great. Make sure a few come in, really. I don't want to hear excuses. Arsenal are one of many Premier League clubs following Tuchemani of Monaco. Apparently, DiMarzio said a lot of clubs in the Premier League are following him. Arsenal, Man United, to name just two. He would like to play in the Premier League. He has stayed at Monaco for another year to await a chance to play in the Premier League. I think that will be the summer when he changes. They want 50 million, and I mean, I'm all for it, people. As you lot can see here, he's valued at 40 million to 50 million euros. So I would pay that if you could, innit? He's got a lot to improve on, but I'm taking him, really. I don't think we're getting him, though. So I think that's almost a non-story. If I'm honest with you, that is the same thing. We can close that. We can close that. What's this? I mean, that was just my reading. Forget all of that. Apparently, Thierry Henry is unhappy with Arsenal's treatment of Saliba. They didn't even let him make a mistake, which is true. They didn't even let him make a mistake. He left before an error. He didn't even have the chance to compete for his place. What he's doing here, now he belongs to Arsenal. I don't know where he'll end up. We've seen that it was a little difficult for him to express himself on the subject. What I know is that he could have been part of the Arsenal group. I'm not Arteta, but I found it difficult for him. After he said, my wish is to finish well, to leave on a good note in case I don't come back anymore, but I try not to think too much about my future, otherwise I'm less focused. Please hit the like button if you haven't already, people, and don't forget his Champions League business after this, people. So yeah, make sure you're there, man. Make sure you're there for that. And also tomorrow, make sure you're there for that. Even if you can't be, please hit the like button. It really does make the world of difference. But going back to Thierry Henry, I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to come back here no matter what. It's Marseille, it's my club. He's contracted until 2024. And he has played up the talkings of staying at Arsenal. And he has played up the talkings of leaving. Everything should be open for that man and whatnot, people. What's all of this? William Saliba gives Marseille message as Mikel Arteta sent transfer warning. Let's move away from the hype. What has been said here? Well, that was a bit of an overkill. And with that, I think that's the transfer news done, people. We can spin the block. Spin the block one last time. Google Tools. But we already heard that. Rob Holding has urged us not to be distracted, as we should know. Lautaro Martinez is there. Oh, my guy Rob Holding, you know. He's ready to compete with William Saliba for back four this summer. That's what it should be, man. That's what it should be, bro. Look at Liverpool. They spent 50 million on Konate, and they've got Joe Gomez, and they've got Matip, who's doing his thing. Great free transfer. They've got options. If anyone's fucking about, they get dropped. And to be honest with you, Saliba's done great things, but he's not the finished article. Neither are the two centre-backs that start on a regular basis. Saliba's had some great games. He's also had some terrible games. Leon the other day, couple of times giving away free kick. He's a young man. He's going to come back more experienced. Played 82 times, I believe, or something like that in France across his 3 loan spells. What I would like is for him to be given just an opportunity. Rob Holding, I like that as well. I thought you might keep it moving. Holding his brace for a fresh competition at Arsenal when Saliba returns. This is, bro. Fight, man. Give Arteta a headache. If Gabriel and Ben White are messing about, Saliba comes in. Saliba messing about, you're not playing. Rob Holding comes in. Tomiyasu messing about. Ben White might get shifted over to right back so that Saliba can play. Gabriel and Ben White they've been good this season, but they haven't been amazing. Really and truly. He said I've been here for 6 years. I'm sorry he didn't cost 50 million, by the way. There have been so many centre-backs in and out the door, so it's always been competitive. You're at Arsenal, it's going to be competitive. Thank you. I think we're on the same page in terms of as a team. So when I'm here needed to help the team, I played the 90 and stepped in for Ben. Obviously, I enjoy playing and I want to play. So if it's 20 minutes at the end of the day to help the team, I'll come on and try and do my best and get the lads the 3 points. Come on. Crazy, man. So yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm kind of tired of speaking about that, man. If anyone who doesn't want competition, they have to keep it moving, really. But give people fair opportunities. Really, really and truly, in my humble opinion. Quickly as well, people. As you've seen, Omari Hutchinson allegedly could be going to Reading. For me, I'm happy for that because I do think where Omari Hutchinson is concerned, a bit like Brooke Norton Cuffy, we can accelerate the progress. I think he needs to play men's football. Listen, Omari Hutchinson's got a bag of tricks. He's very good one. He can keep it simple and do the passing thing. He's got a bag of skills. Probably most comfortable on that right hand side. Can play on that right hand side. Can take someone down the flanks and twist and turn them. Can play inside. Got free kicks. He's got everything you look for in a winger. It's just about correlating that now to senior football, playing week in, week out, having to be consistent 2-3 times a week. And I like to see that, just like with Brooke Norton Coffey, I would love to see him integrated in the first team next season. Probably not best. Go out for a full season. Can he stay at Lincoln in League One again? Because he's got a good thing going with the gaffer. Could we look to loan into the Championship? For Omari, joining Reading's a good side, really and truly. It's a fantastic opportunity. Reading, unfortunately, half their academy players always end up at City and all of those sort of things, people. But he'd be playing Championship football. He'd be at a club that gives young players opportunities. It makes sense because half of these young players have been on the bench at first team and not got a minute. So it is what it is. So I think Omari Hutchinson, it would be a great loan spell, and I think he would take to it. I mean, the thing I love about Omari the most is his mentality, people. Like, he really wants to improve, he wants to do well. He doesn't think he's achieved anything. He doesn't, in a positive way, doesn't buy into, obviously, man, know they're good at football, but he doesn't buy into his own hype. And I think he's got a decent future in the game. But he said, for him, I would say if Kiddo Taylor Hart never got the injury, I think we need to try and accelerate their progress. Brooke Norton Coffey, him. I don't think Marcelo Flores is ready to go out on loan. I think Patino could go out on loan and play football, but I think he's one. I don't know. I think he's one I'd like to just keep close to the squad. I think we'll assess that one in January. And obviously, we've heard KHAYON Edwards has signed a new deal. He's been one of our best players, just like OMARI, who's had a good season as we finished third at 23's level. KHAYON Edwards. You'd imagine Mika Beref and Muller and these guys go out on loan. So KHAYON Edwards, who probably should have been given more opportunities up front this season, is given opportunities. Happy to see the 18-year-old has signed a new deal until 2025. He had interest from abroad as well as Chelsea and Brighton, and I think he's set for a good future. Another one with a good attitude and a good mentality and a good ability. You lot, again, one day I hope we can do interviews with them again, but go and check out my interviews I did with them. I've got a whole playlist of such. So yeah, man, it's good news to see, man. But again, in relation to the Reading for Omari Hutchinson, nothing's officially been confirmed. It just looks like primary sources, which could be a good step, because what is 23 is going to do for the man? He's 18, turning 19 this year. He needs to go and play ball. I think he needs to go and play ball. 17 appearances this season, 6 goals, 6 assists, and a lit baller, man. You know, he's even shown he's on, you know, regulating guys. You saw the scenes in some of the handbags, and he's a big game player, man. Omari Hutchinson needs to go and play proper football in it. So I'll be happy if he goes and does that. Norton, Coffee, KHAYON Edwards. Sorry, folks, I'm just making a timestamp. So yeah, man, that'll be lovely for them to go out and do that, man. So yeah, man. Sorry, I've been airing you lot, man. I just wanted to get through all of that, people. I can't lie to you lot, man. Now that we got through all of that, I've seen a bunch of questions. Big up to you lot. Happy morning, you know, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Appreciate you lot's comments. Keep them coming, man. Let's see what you're saying. 2 flying Scotsmen soon. Come on. I think I answered that already. Think Lokonga and Tavares will be signs to how Edu should be working this summer. Players with Premier League experience. I mean, it's relative, innit? Because we've not being funny, Cedric's got Premier League experience. Willian had Premier League experience. You know, let's sign the right players, man. Respectfully. I would like to see Omari play some minutes this season, but I'd prefer for him to go and play week in, week out. You know, traveling with the first team and not necessarily coming off the bench doesn't help. You know, shout out to Omari, Marcelo Flores, Zach Swanson, Maziz, you know, Mika Beref. Them have been on the bench for first team level, but none of them have got to make their debut. What does that tell you? It's not that Arteta might not trust them, which he might not necessarily, but they're making up numbers. Minutes are currency. Go out and play. You shouldn't just go on alone for the sake of it. But I think Lincoln, great fit for Brooke. You know, Reading, great fit for Omari. You know, don't just load man to anywhere. Find the manager, the structure, and all of those sort of things, and then let a man go. Because I just think at Arsenal, we don't have too many great loans in that. And that could come by to where we're palming players off. It's changing a bit, but you get the point. Pardon me. Would you bring back Bellerin to shore up squad continuity if we move on Cedric? Nah, man. No, but move them both on, man. Like, nah, man. No, he don't want to be here. Like, he doesn't, respectfully, he's left out. There's nothing wrong with that. He doesn't want to be here. So it's a myth, man. Forget all of that. I don't want guys to stay here accidentally because they can't be moved on once again. Martinelli and Smith have been underperforming on the left in the last few games. Bit harsh. Martinelli went and assisted the winner, really. Watch the game again. Don't think that's the case, but I hear you generally. Against United, Smith didn't mean much. There's an argument that we should give Tavares a chance up front, as in left wing, and play Cedric. I don't know what argument. Quite shit on either side. So no. I do think people overstate Tavares going forward. It's just to make, obviously he is better going forward than he is defensively, and you know, better than he is defensively, and people probably overcompensate with that. Well, no. At this stage of the season with 4 games left. Nah, man. Would you take Ivan Toney? I would, but, well, maybe not based off last night's performance. I would take Ivan Toney, but them man are asking for too much. They're going to ask for too much peas, like more than he's worth. All right, man. Charlie, man. You're doing me dirty. If you want to pay for a better internet, pay for it. If not, shut your mouth and enjoy the ride, mate. Stop spamming, please. Do you think we should go for strikers who are cheap like Jesus and go for world-class midfielders like De Jong? Probably won't happen. I mean, go for players that improve the squad. What's your thoughts on Alexis' comments? Seeing fans not rate him, I'm shocked. Guy was our Salah proper talisman. Alex on the back of my shirt was a quality player. You know, he's obviously going to give love to his old club and his old fan and his old players. But at the same time, don't bread is all I would say. Fans making something off nothing. But I would love Barella, but they're the man you got to sign when that Calahiri, bro. You got to grab them when before they've even got to, you know, develop and them things. Because once they end up here, it's tricky, man. I genuinely think there are enough games next season with European football for Eddie to stay and get a good amount of minutes. Yeah, but at some point it's going to get competitive. If you're in the Europa League, calm, you know, and there will need to be rotation. But the primary example is to get out the Champions League. Them games, does anyone want to rotate? At least before it's confirmed. The Premier League, as much as you can, you want to name the strongest lineup. If you've qualified out of the group stages, assuming we're there, game week 5 and 6, by all means, give opportunities. You know, how you got to wait a bit for the FA Cup. There's only an X amount of cup games. I don't know, because on one hand there is a lot of minutes for people to play and people can drop form, and we've got a young squad in that. But at the same time, it's not a guarantee of minutes. There's no guarantees, but there's not a guarantee of minutes. Is it enough to really make him develop? Can't lie, on reacts like a beer X sometimes. I can't lie, sometimes he just says what he feels, man. Everyone's allowed their opinion. Go for Martinez. North London derby is going to be serious. Trust. They are my guy. I mean, we'd all love De Jong, but I can't see it happening, man. DG, if we get top 4 and a Poch, for example, and Poch, for example, is a possibility, would you want to see us going for him? Not if Arteta gets top 4, no. He's overachieved. Would you give Arteta a new contract? Probably. Yeah. Because it looks like we've got a top 6 finish. That's probably in line with what we're supposed to be doing in the club's mandate. If you get top 4, I don't like the word overachieved because that should be the minimum Arsenal should be looking for. But quote unquote, you probably overachieved. Can't wait for Balogun to return from loan, having got playing time under his belt and show us what he's got. Again, for me, probably should go on loan again. Like, again, he's probably going to have to wait around at some point next season. But you only went on, you and Brooke Norton CUFFY, you only been on loan for half a season. So it could be worth you lot just developing away from this euphoria and all this hype. With every good game, you're the guy. With every bad game, you're not. Again, minutes are currency. 17 appearances, 3 goals, 3 assists. It's been a year of development. When Balogun comes back for pre-season, Arsenal elsewhere, you know immediately what you need to improve on. Under 23s, it doesn't mean much. You know, you make mistakes or you don't score and whatnot. It's not paid on. Hardly there's anything really to play for. There's a lack of needing to get 3 points, and then I think with Balogun seeing what football really is, this helps you. You're not as good as you might think you are in general for footballers. You know, you might be able to dance past 10 players in 23s level. In fact, even the last game against Cardiff for Middlesbrough for Balogun, you know, movement weren't good enough. You know, variety in movement weren't good enough. Learning curves, you know. You need to, you know, you're not going to see how good of a swimmer you are if you can swim the length of a pool and you're just sitting in the shallow end, innit? Bring in Basuma or Telemans and swap Lukonga for them, but only loan. DG, who would you take from the relegation-bound teams? Top of my head, Norwich. I don't think there is anyone by default. I guess Max Aarons again by default. Watford are probably gone. Might take a chance on Dennis if we need a squad striker and certain things aren't happening. Yeah, man. If Everton go down, maybe Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Anthony Gordon for squad. But trust, that's horrible, man. Bro, they're both flying forward and getting caught out of position, man. Come on, man. It's all love, Charlie, man. What do you think about this new song? I mean, that new song sounds lit, man. Man said Balogun hype. Bro, again, too much conclusions are drawn on players, bro. I'm not saying Balogun is the guy. I'm not saying he isn't the guy. I'm just saying just let the man do his thing, man. Just develop, man. DG, our wishes for Hickey are slowly coming to light. I'm so glad, bro. I'll be until man are signing shirts, holding shirts and signing at London Coley or at the Emirates. I don't believe nothing. I'll be real with you, but it is what it is, my guy. It is encouraging. I'll give you that. Do you think getting Martinez and Jesus in one window is possible? You put the money on table. If they're saying 60 million euros and they're saying 40, that's 100 million on 2 players. Fair enough. But then you need to get a centre mid for me. You need, so it probably just over a bit, for 200 and some change. You probably could get everything you need to do, man. Would you take Julian Brand? I'm not really a fan as much as I used to be. I think he's a bit of a diva. I think physically, it's not that. I think he's quite weak physically, and I don't think he's up for the physical fight. But on ability and all that jazz, then yeah, man. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard, man. You got enough hours, but once you get past a certain level, if there's certain things you can't do, you're not gonna be able to do it really. So work on it in the training ground. Really, if I'm honest with you guys. Seems like a slow news day. The biggest thing is ARTETA to push Eddie Nketiah for a new deal. And I mean, I think Arsenal fans are I can't believe it. Arsenal fans getting onto OMARI, man. I mean, he's allowed his thought. What he's actually said isn't too dissimilar from what a lot of Arsenal fans say. But who cares? Respectfully, big up OMARI. They were all loving him when he was taking the pictures with Smith Rowe and Saka and that. If Roma come in with a respectable bid this summer, would you let Xhaka go? Yeah. Yeah. What else have I missed? Angelino, right back. Not sure about that one, Chief. Not sure about that one, bro. Big up, George. Don't touch Lautaro. Hey, man, we're just trying to find strikers to improve our squad, man. It's not our fault, bro. Allow us, man. Gnabry would be a dream signing, a dream, man. And I know everyone's got small hopes when they keep hearing about his contract situation and things. I mean, I hope so. But I don't like hoping it. What else is going on in the world of football? Don't seem like there's anything really. And truly, folks. If someone said I say Nuno and Lokonga on loan, I'd rather Nuno go out on loan than Lokonga. But yeah, they both look like they need it, man. Do you think we'll sign Darwin Nunes? I hope so. I hope we sign someone, man. I hope we sign someone, bro. Omri's allowed his opinion, man. The fan base is weird, willing to slate a man, then pose for a picture next to his statue. I mean, but half the people that unnecessary, I'm not talking about constructive criticism, but half the people that attack Granit Xhaka, or did attack him, they're all asking for a picture. You've seen it before. It's nothing new, really. People are weird, man. People are weird in this life, broski. Don't forget, people, Champions League business later today. True. Nah, I'm not really convinced with Angelino, if I'm honest with you. I mean, Comrade, he's a pretty tidy footballer. Nothing else, really. I'd rather go for Shabit. So he looks like the days are done at Bayern Munich. But I must admit, seeing what I'm seeing under him at Bayern Munich, it does not convince me. Now, again, players that look like damaged goods, you can get a tune out of them. But it's a sticky one still. It's a sticky one, man. It's a political one. Very political one. Boy. What else is going on in the world of things? Brazy stuff, man. Brazy stuff. So I'm tired of speaking about Saliba. There was reasons for him to stay at the club and develop, and concerns why he wasn't. There was reasons why he should have went out on loan. What I would say is, whether it's because of injuries or not, the man went out on loan. He's played 34 times at the time of making this video. He's building on his 80-odd appearances across his spells at Saint Etienne, Nice, and Marseille. He's developing away from the hype. With every good game or bad game, he's going to be judged accordingly. He's becoming a bit more experienced, a bit more confident, and that's that in it, really and truly. Now, the key problem is now the fallout plan. Are the club going to bite the bullet and sell him, or are they going to give him an opportunity to show what he wants and what Saliba thinks, really and truly, man? Saliba agenda is crazy. Many rational reasons for him being on loan to develop what people love to push agendas. Martinelli is also completely exempt from criticism from a huge amount of our fans. Darren, I can't speak for a huge amount of our fans, but no one's free from criticism. And all I see on my channel is criticism for Martinelli. Somebody even just said drop him and Smith Rowe and play Cedric and Tavares. So I don't know, man. If I'm honest, the one person that is safe from criticism is the manager. In fact, when he is criticized, it's scapegoatism. But yeah, man. So yeah, really. Canelo. I truly hope we don't sign Tony or Calvert-Lewin. I'd rather Tony than Calvert-Lewin. Just looks a bit more pleasing on the eye. Martinelli gets time because he's still young and only now locking down the position on the left. West Ham wants an arm, leg, and a kidney for Rice. Trust. Expensive Rice, man. Crazy stuff, man. And actually, but to be fair, next summer there's going to be the only summer they can't do that. But can you blame them? They've got a player they fundamentally don't want to sell because he makes them stronger. They've got an asset where if you sell him, make it worth a while. Like if I'm West Ham, I'd move away from that 150 talk and try and see if something can be done with money and Conor Gallagher. If Chelsea do want to buy him, you know, can you fleece United the same way they was fleeced for Wan-Bissaka, for Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, and several players? We'll have to see, man. But God knows. It's an interesting debate, man. But it's tired, man. What fans love to the thing is, people love conclusions, man. Whoever wants to stay, stay. Whoever wants to go, go, man. Simple as that, man. You can't have Rice without peas. Rice batted up Nketiah. That's cool. We got the 3 points, man. Nketiah didn't die. If you lot call football handbags badding up, then you lot have never been, never see real stuff. But that's cool. You know, you can have that. That's good for the memes, you know. Hopefully it puts a few zeros on his price tags. That's dead though, man. How do you think these two American players, I think you're trying to say, we signed, will get on next season? Will they even get game time? I think the keeper's more likely to get game time. I think the centre-back's someone that's just going to be loaned out, probably make profit. I mean, I don't know the keeper, really, but we need a second-choice keeper. Leno's busting out, in it, so it is what it is. Needs to be done. So we'll have to see, man. But who knows, man. What else is going on? Let's have one last block spin. Someone said Rice needed to be more aggressive to that prayer. Bro, he needs to keep his head. That's all good. But you're in added on time. You're losing by a goal. You're fighting to finish as high as you can. And you want to fight Eddie Nketiah. You know, someone that you know. Control your emotions, man. Channel that on the pitch, because he almost scored against Ramsdale. He played a key part in them scoring the goal. He's played a neat pass out to CUFFY. There's actually one very important block on Odegaard in the first half. You know, Rice is a decent player. You know, stop listening to pot of paper and thinking you're on stuff. Just play your position, man. You know, rattled, bro. Shut up. Great stuff for a Premier League footballer, man. Great stuff. You know, shout out to you, West Ham captain and all. If that's how your captain behaves, he behaved like that all game. Maybe, you know, they do say Arsenal soft. He might have intimidated us. If you might have seen a bit more of you, might have won. But I'm sure them Cobham boys loved it. And the twerking for Chelsea is going to do a lot. Exactly, man. Just pot is lit. Big up DG on that banging bang. I wanted handbags, man. I wanted Nketiah to bang him. I wanted Rice to bang him. I was screaming on the TV. Nketiah, the minute he pushes you, bro, all it takes is a quick, rather than do the bad boy team, sent off. Do the David Luiz, and then it's done. Come on, man. Funniest thing about football, like fucking Chelsea versus Everton yesterday. Well, I say yesterday, Saturday. You know, Havertz is throwing his toys out the pram. Like, what's going on here, mate? Nah, what is going on here, bro? Like, bad for your bread, them man are bad for their brethrens, man. I'd do Smith Rowe / Martinelli plus money for Rice if I was Arsenal. Good thing they're not. Tony would be good backup, but the problem is that he might not want to be it, but I can see it, bro. I'm not being funny, bro. Like, there's a massive step up from fucking Brentford to Arsenal, despite what Thomas Frank tried to say about us and Man United when he's played us, and actually Chelsea. But, bro, chill off, innit? Just chill off. Relax yourself. If you want to play, go and play, bro. I really don't like this. I'm not saying you're saying it, but this sort of like players are old stuff. If you're not Lionel Messi and Mbappe and obviously a couple of Ronaldo and a couple of other exceptions that might not be at these guys' level, bro. You shouldn't owe you no assurances. Like, all that should be given is that you're gonna be given a fair chance. You train well, you take chances, you play. Simple as that. And I look at Arsenal, I don't think there's apart from Bukayo Saka, and even that you ain't really got competition on that hand side. Nobody, and probably Ramsdale, even that, nobody. In fact, not even that, like. Nobody should be a guaranteed starter. If you want to be a guaranteed starter, earn it. Simple as that. Well, you know, to be fair, why would even the Declan, even not Declan Rice, even the Son thing. Zuma's kicked the ball at him, man's dropping like he's been shot. Who are your top targets for this summer? I mean, I'm not Arsenal's transfer team, so I can't have top targets, bro. Really, you know. But if you could get Darwin Nunes and Gabriel Jesus and the centre mid, that'd be decent, man. The thing is, man, they're gonna. I don't know for Rafinha, man. He's got that guy position, that Richarlison thing about him is that sometimes I think you're a baller, then other times I think you're shaky, really and truly. But it could be, it could be worth it, man. He seems like a big time. How much do they want for him? Like, I'm sure in the future he'll be worth a lot more. But if you're not taking 50 million, 30 to 50 million, I'm not really on it, you know. Not feeling Nunes. The Tavares transfer made me second guess. Great logic. Even Matheus Nunes could be decent for Arsenal as well. I'm trying to get one of those Portuguese centre mids in the Portuguese league. They adapt quickly and are good tries. Matheus Nunes, half of them dons at Sporting Lisbon. You know, go Sporting Lisbon. Let's see what dons are saying, really, innit? If I'm honest with you. Timestamp there. Yeah, that would be me, really. Shut up, man, Serge, man. Man's trying to ask to say foolishness. Suck your mum on behalf of every half decent person. Tell your mum to suck her mum as well. I was doing so well without that, but I don't want to do the silliness, man. Like, bro. Got the spammers here fucking up the base. There's the thing you wanted, man. You promoted it. What's your number one priority this summer in terms of adding depth? For me, it's midfield. Would love Basuma. Yeah, man, midfield. I don't think they are. I think even when everyone's fit, it's a bit shaky. Midfield and up front. Then it's just about complementing the side, fullbacks, maybe even centre half. I mean, Nunes might be a hype man, but it's better than we got. Sporting, we're playing in the group stage in the Champions League this year. So, yeah, man, it is what it is, man. Should we have one last look? I hate to miss things out. Come on, man. They must be lied to me about something, man. Tell me we're getting Ronaldinho or something, man. Or Asi 30 or something. Boy. I mean, Gabriel's still linked with Juventus and Barcelona. Arsenal to rival Manchester United for Akanji. Leave Man United to it, man. Please leave them to it. Here you have it, people. Apparently, we're looking at Akanji. Leave them to it. No, man. No. Arsenal to rival Man United for Borussia Dortmund superstar Manuel Akanji. Dylan Walsh, you're moving mad. Man said superstar, you know. Superstar. The man there trying to get the clicks. Moving mad. Thank God it's been now, man. There was a time where I would have taken Akanji. There's been no development, man. I remember I'm sure you played in Europe against Man United and Basel. So when you was at Basel, so someone's got to remember. But there's been no significant development in this 26-year-old. Like, bro. That's dead, man. Leave them to it, man. I would. I don't know why you're shouting, bro, but yeah, I would. Leave them to it. I'm not with this Akanji hype, man. Nah, man, too error prone, not really focused on the ball. They've signed 2 centre-halves in that they're getting Sole and this guy from, forgot his name, he's kind of young. He's doing all right. So they don't even want Donny. What's the point? I'm not on that, man. Trust. I'm not on that. I'm not on it. Again, I'm open to being wrong. He could sign for the club and do well, but that's shit, fam. I'm sorry. Like, Akanji, that... You could be part of the squad, but bro, you're not better than what we have. You're not a half-decent, competent option now, man. I'd love to be wrong. Maybe that's one of them duds that might turn out good, but that is a myth. Yeah, fuck that, man. Is Saliba returning next season? I don't know, man. We'd have to see. Akanji and Gabriel centre-half parents. You don't want good things. We'll get collapsed. Koku should be able to be brought in on a cheap thing. He's not the guy, bro. He's capping, man. He's capping. They're capping. G1, what have you sent? Let me, before I get out of here, let me see what you said here. Oh, fucking hell. Your comments just running. YouTube is a mess. Big up Secret Scout. Highest percentage of minutes by under 21 players in the Premier League. Arsenal ahead with 12.6. You've then got Southampton with 12.3, Norwich with 10.3, Aston Villa with 7.5. Crazy stuff, man. Good for us, man. Love for that plug. G1 as usual. Got it, mad. I mean, Mane, if he can win Ballon d'Or, well done, man. Please don't spam though, man. We got no beef with that. Now you've just cost yourself, man. He's a baller. He's done quite well there. I mean, is anyone... I don't think Akanji's convinced by himself, but let's just hope that one there remains as clickbait, people. On that note, though, I'm going to love and leave you lot. Do not forget, after this is Champions League business later today, people. I'll be doing a Champions League live stream that will be on Twitch and YouTube, so make sure you're there. Tomorrow, the same logic. This is at 7:30 UK time, half an hour before kickoff, people. Probably going to play FM today on Twitch just before it, so make sure you have a look out for that. If nothing more, people, you lot stay blessed, stay safe. Appreciate the Twitch gang because we was live at 10 a.m. Appreciate all of you lot on YouTube that have, we've gone through the transfer stuff. We've spoken about speculation. We've had some general talking points, and day in, day out, it's a that thing in it. So, yeah, man, 10 a.m., 11:30, 7:30, it's the same procedure almost every day, man. You lot stay blessed, stay safe. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Peace.
Yours is that active red defenders.